guys, I'm Stephanie.
And I'm Tiffany.
And we are
Sisters of the South.
We are back today with another true crime story. But before we get started, we'd like to ask that you hit that like button. Also, hit our subscribe button. That way, you know every time we upload a video and you can come share your time with Sisters of the South. Also, hit that bell. It's a notification button. So every time we upload a video, you'll be able to join us and also leave some comments. Let us know what you think about the case files that we're sharing with you. And also, before we get started, we've got to do a little shout out for our friends and vendor over at SoFly.
SoFly!
Not so slow! No.
Yeah!
Yeah.
We're adding to it every week, guys.
That's right. They are a family-owned business here in the Houston, Texas area, and they specialize in embroidery and in lasering. And what they do is they take an accessory such as a purse, a hoodie, a t-shirt, a cap, a keychain, even a carving board, and they will specialize it to your needs. Now, if you want some embroidery done, they have an array of different colors. You can also use your initials, your name, your logo, or even a special icon, and they can laser that or embroidery that on your accessory. I know that you'll be happy, so get out there and figure out what you want. Send them an order, reach out to them. We'll link their information in the description box, but we're going to show you a video of their awesome work. So here we go.
All right, guys, we hope you enjoyed that video. Go check them out, buy you some cool stuff, and let them know we sent you.
Absolutely.
They are doing some of our merchandise for CrimeCon in Denver this September, so if you're there, you'll be able to see it.
Absolutely. So go check them out. So I'm going to turn the show over to Tiff now so we can get started.
All right, guys, here we go. So Tanner Ward was born September 7th, 1997 in the small town of Trenton, Missouri, which now has a population of 5,600 people. In 2016, Tanner got into some trouble. Tanner and his brother went into a house with weapons and dispute over a drug deal, leading to Tanner and his older brother, Tyler, showing up with a gun and not allowing people to leave. This incident landed Tanner felony charges and 5 years probation.
Yikes.
After this, Tanner decided to get his life back on track and made some changes. This is not the life he wanted to lead. Around this time, Tanner started dating and then became engaged to a girl named Megan. Shortly after, they welcomed a baby girl, Sophia. According to Tanner's sister, Kelsey, Tanner was a happy person. He loved his baby girl, his girlfriend, and his family, and he was making plans for the future. So this leads us to the evening of June 7th, 2017, when 19-year-old Tanner Ward left his home, promising to return. His mother was preparing a chicken dinner and asked Tanner if he would be back for the meal that he had requested. Tanner told his mother, "I'm only going to be gone 30 minutes. Go ahead and fix a piece for me." When Tanner failed to return home after visiting his friend Jeremiah, his family became concerned. The unexpected absence and lack of communication was out of character for Tanner. Later that night, Kelsey, Tanner's sister, retraced her brother's steps and eventually arrived at Jeremiah's residence. Kelsey was familiar with everyone in Trenton but had never heard of Jeremiah before. With no response at the door, she found the door unlocked and entered the apartment. The scene was chaotic. The back door was wide open, there was a significant hole in the wall, and the furniture was overturned as if a violent struggle had occurred. Amongst the disarray, Kelsey found Tanner's baseball cap lying in the middle of the room. Immediately, Kelsey went to the police to report her brother missing, bringing his cap as evidence. Despite filing a missing person report 2 weeks later, there was no progress or additional information regarding Tanner Ward's whereabouts. With the growing realization that something serious happened to Tanner, Kelsey began distributing homemade flyers in the area. While handing out her homemade flyers, Kelsey runs into Jeremiah, who was wearing the same shirt Tanner had on when he disappeared on June 7th.
Oh, heck no.
Yeah. Obviously alarmed, Kelsey questioned Jeremiah about why he was wearing her brother's shirt. She also noticed what appeared to be burn holes from a cigarette on the shirt, which Jeremiah insisted they were only stains. But when she threatened to involve the police, he willingly agreed to go with her to the station.
Now, there's a big difference between stains and cigarette holes.
Yeah, I agree. I thought the same thing.
Yeah.
Well, Trenton Police Chief Thomas Wright reported that they thoroughly investigated Jeremiah and his potential connection to the case. Anomalies on the shirt resembling burn holes or potentially bloodstains, which doesn't make sense,
No.
were noted. Jeremiah was given a voice stress test, and the results were compelling enough for law enforcement to search Jeremiah's father's property in Edinburgh, which is about 5.5 miles from Trenton.
But wait a minute. Why not go to his apartment? It was in disarray when she got there.
I agree. I don't know. They're kind of all over the place.
So they're
at
just
this
going to
point.
go 5.5 miles down the road and check his dad's place out, but they're not going to go to his apartment.
They're all over the place.
Where
with this.
obviously something occurred. Okay.
Oh, and cadaver dogs were brought to the property, and they brought attention to a burn pit, but only animal bones were discovered.
Okay.
Despite a 10 by 6 foot forensic dig, no further evidence was found.
Okay.
But there was enough to bring them there.
Yes.
So at this point, it seemed Tanner's case was hitting a standstill due to Tanner not owning a cell phone, meaning police were unable to trace his digital footprint on the night of his disappearance. Efforts to follow up leads led to dead ends, raising concerns that Tanner may have fallen victim to foul play.
Okay, so he doesn't have a cell phone. Let's break out the pad and paper and start talking to people, looking for cameras outside of the apartment complex or local convenience stores. Let's do some old school detective work.
Exactly. And it's a small town. Somebody had to know something. People
Yes.
know him.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
So 6 agonizing months later, on an icy December day, 2 high school kids were walking to class together and stumbled upon a shocking scene. Hanging from a tree branch just 3 blocks from Tanner's family home was the decomposed body of Tanner Ward. His fingers were mummified and his feet were missing.
Okay. Mummified corpse makes me think he was burned because their muscles and everything draw up, and of course it dries over time, but that's what it makes me think.
They also say, I looked it up, they also say it can happen when a place is dry. There's a dry climate, but there's enough humidity that they wouldn't, so they can't figure out why they were mummified. Just his fingers.
And obviously, it sounds like to me he had not been there very long.
Well,
because, I mean, just, 6 months later, he's found hanging in a tree. I mean, I understand it's an icy December day, which means leaves have fallen and stuff, but I mean.
Okay, well, we'll get to that.
Okay.
The only evidence at the site was a small pile of clothing on the ground, including pants, shoes, and a single sock. Of course, no shirt because his friends got it, right? The condition of the clothing suggested they had been at that location for an extended period of time.
But this is also the police that don't even go to the apartment to check it out where possibly this occurred. So, okay.
An autopsy using dental records for identification confirmed Tanner's tragic end. The initial cause of death was ruled as a suicide, as the only injury is to the neck, attributed to hanging by a rope.
And so he hung himself with mummified hands from a tree?
And no feet. He climbed a tree.
And no feet.
No feet. Where are the feet?
Yeah. Come on.
So this ruling exonerated Jeremiah of all suspicion.
Is his father a police officer?
See, I'm wondering how they know this kid.
Yeah.
However, rumors began to circulate in Trenton. Text messages hinted at the possibility of homicide, suggesting that Tanner endured months of torture before being murdered and stored in a freezer.
Okay.
Lisa Ward, Tanner's mother, was haunted by a text detailing gruesome scenarios involving a baseball bat, a cellar, and eventually death.
Oh, wow.
Some speculated that Tanner was moved to the tree at a later date to simulate suicide.
It sounds like it to me.
Absolutely. Chief Wright dismissed those theories, pointing out the absence of obvious signs of wildlife processing Tanner's body and challenging the notion that he hung from the tree for the entire 6 months.
Prove it. I don't believe that. I can't believe that. Okay, not only that, but had anyone come
And
across the smell of a corpse? I don't care if
okay,
it's
that comes
winter
up
or
too.
not. Like,
but he's contradicting himself. If he
yes,
had been hanging there 6 months, there would have been wildlife marks of
yeah,
some sort.
birds, squirrels,
Anything.
things. Yes. Oh my
So he's
gosh.
contradicting himself, in my opinion. The discovery of Tanner's body raised questions among those familiar with the area, expressing disbelief that the body went unnoticed until the day it was discovered. Construction workers had only been 25 feet away from where Tanner's body was found and claimed to have never detected any foul odor during the
Oh,
hot summer months.
yes.
Even Tanner's childhood friend, who had walked the path numerous times with his girlfriend, doubted that the body had been hanging in the tree for the entire 6 months. And another acquaintance of Kelsey claimed that she had played with her son beneath the tree during that time and observed nothing unusual.
That
So
would
this is
be
a
pretty.
popular area.
Yes, and that
Uh-huh.
that would be so obvious.
Yeah.
I mean, you would notice that if kids just walking by see it, don't you think someone underneath it playing with
It's
their
going to
kids are
catch
going to
your
see
eye.
it?
He's on a branch.
And you're
He's
going to
not tied
smell
to
it.
the tree.
You're going to
Smell
smell
it.
it.
The family rejects the idea that Tanner took his own life, saying there were no indications before his disappearance that suggested suicidal tendencies. His assurance to his mother that he would return for dinner served as proof of his intention to come home that night.
Mm-hmm.
So, when asked, Trenton police insist that the wind blew the stench away and that humans often don't look up. So, had it not been windy, the body would not have been noticed.
Well, the wind don't blow very often during the summer, you idiots. So that's when the smell is going to occur, okay, the most. So that blows that theory right out of the water.
Okay, but see,
What kind of training do these people have?
so I'm sitting here and I'm a normal ass person, I think, but I can still see up.
Your peripheral vision alone
Hello.
would catch that.
Thank you.
But I'm one of those people who do look up.
Well,
A
yeah,
lot.
plus when you're walking, you're gonna observe
Yes.
everything, whether it be up, down, all around. Come on.
Who just looks here anyway? I don't know.
Apparently, this cop. What? I mean, I don't look up. So Chief Wright mentioned that Tanner had started heavily using drugs, with family and friends confirming this information, and that his incident in 2016 could be linked as possible retaliation. Rumors suggested that Tanner was supposed to be harmed, not killed, but the situation escalated when he fought back, which...
So was Jeremiah part of the 2016 occurrence?
No one really knows the name Jeremiah. It's like his name came out of the blue.
But he was obviously living there.
Yes. I don't know if he was new to town or what.
Okay.
On April 18th, 2018, the Trenton Police Department officially declared Tanner Ward's death as a suicide.
That's embarrassing.
With the completion of the autopsy conducted by a forensics firm in Kansas City, Kansas. The report states that the scene indicated self-suspension and there was no evidence on the tree bark supporting the notion of external hoisting.
Is there any evidence that he climbed the damn tree? There would be bark, removal, maybe foot slippage or something trying to get up on a tree. How big was this tree? You know what I'm saying? Like I want to see this tree. Is it an oak tree? Is it a pine tree? What kind of tree is this?
Well, here's the whole situation is so sad, but here's what you have to think about. How did he mummify his fingers and remove his feet, climb a tree, and hang himself?
No, I understand that.
And if he did remove his feet, where are they? Because he couldn't have removed them somewhere else.
Well, and he's not going to
Gone
hang
to
himself
a
and remove
tree
his
and
feet.
hang himself. Why
Yeah.
would you even remove your feet if you're going to hang yourself?
That's this is such an embarrassing case for this police department.
It pisses me off
It
for his
is,
family. I'm so angry for his family.
yes. I mean, they ought to just pack their shit up, and the police need to just move out and they need to bring someone else in, a whole new crew. Because number one, that's lack of training or complete laziness.
Well, I feel like we could do better.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And yeah, the poor family.
It breaks my heart for
I
them.
would
It
be
really does.
enraged.
I mean, they were just waiting for him to come back for dinner and
He
this
never showed.
happens.
Yeah.
And then the cops just act like, well, whatever. I mean,
He was on drugs. No, that doesn't
mean you're going to
warrant
remove your
anything.
feet. And how does that even make sense in your brain? I need someone to tell me how that would even make sense.
It doesn't. The math ain't mathin', I think is what they say out there.
Yeah,
For sure.
definitely. Detectives are waiting for additional evidence before considering a murder theory, and there
What?
are no persons of interest in the investigation into Tanner's death, leaving the Ward family tormented and grief-stricken.
Okay, Jeremiah, hello.
They just let it go. Oh, we found him. He's hanging from a tree. Yeah. I mean, he was on drugs, so it has to be a suicide, right? No.
Oh
Plus,
my
the
God.
dude's wearing his shirt.
Oh my gosh.
And his hat was in his apartment. So
yes.
what happened between, he's like, oh, I'm going to halfway strip down, cut my feet off and climb a tree and
No.
no.
Man, that is crazy to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel so bad for his family.
It makes me sick. I can't
wouldn't
imagine.
be able to stay living in that town. I would
No.
feel so unsafe.
And he's got a baby girl.
Yeah. I would feel so unsafe
Oh, yeah.
with
'Cause
such
anything could happen.
incompetent police protecting the town. Absolutely not.
You just
I
have to
mean,
wonder why. What is the point in not figuring out what happened to this kid?
well, I want to know who Jeremiah is. Give me his last name because I want to do a background check and I want to find this guy
Well,
because I have
they're not going
questions.
to.
And if you have nothing to hide, why wouldn't you come on our show and talk to us? Because I want to know who Jeremiah is and who's his father, grandfather, uncle, cousin.
Yeah,
who's
who owns the
protecting this
property?
guy, or if
How is
not
he
that,
connected to someone?
is the police corrupt? And they're a part of this too. Okay, because none of this makes sense. And just because you put suicide on a death certificate doesn't make it fact. Y'all are incompetent.
And the problem I have, just because the kid has had drug problems, it does not matter. He's still a
No.
father and a son and a brother. It does not matter.
It
People
doesn't.
matter.
Yes. And even if you're on drugs and this happens to you, you don't deserve it.
Right.
I want to know who the fuck Jeremiah is. And I want to know who his family members are, or I want to know who's on that police, who's over the police department, and if they're corrupt, because that's what it sounds like to me. How embarrassing that you would even put suicide on a death certificate.
Yeah.
The coroner should be ashamed of themselves. They need to go back and get some training, or they just need to fire them because they are not doing their job. That is horrible.
It's sick.
Yes.
Yeah.
Whew, I'm worked up, y'all.
Oh, I know. I knew. Ugh.
That just irritates me down
I
to
was
my
pissed
core.
off the whole time I was looking into this story just because there's no way. It does not make sense. And guys, if it does make sense to you that this could happen, please let us know. Let us know how this can, because it's not making sense to me. It's not, the pieces just aren't working.
Nothing's connecting. The story, it just makes no sense whatsoever.
No.
And it's making me so mad. I want to know who the detectives were. Where are their names? I
did give the chief's name.
Oh, sorry. I guess I was just so boiling inside. Well, Chief, you should be embarrassed. I wouldn't want my name out there on that crime story. Absolutely not.
I made sure to put his name in.
Absolutely not. How embarrassing. You're an absolute disgrace. Sorry. That's how I feel.
I'm not
Yeah.
sorry.
Mm.
So, yeah, how do you sleep at night?
Right.
going home like, yeah, I did my job. You
Yeah.
didn't do your job.
Yeah.
It's
I'd
just
like it.
sad.
I'd like a background check on him because he sounds very corrupt to me. I just saying, hey, if the shoe fits, wear it. You know?
That's right. Proudly.
Mm.
Wear it proudly.
Yep.
So, guys, let us know what you think. If you have any other ideas, throw them out there. I mean, think out of the box a little bit. Maybe
Yes.
there's something different that we're not seeing or connecting here. But let us know. Make some comments, and we will gladly get back with you. But until our next episode, guys, please remember to see the good and stay imperfectly perfect. Bye, guys.
Thanks.